Every morning at 6 a.m., Grace walked through those tall iron gates. The kind that creak when they open. Like they know who belongs and who doesn't. Ethan Cole lived there. Man of money, power, and perfect suits. Everyone said he had it all. They didn't know what loneliness cost. He treated his staff like furniture, there, but unseen. Grace learned to take every insult like background noise. They didn't know what loneliness costs. Still, she whispered the same line under her breath each day. Lord, soften his heart before life does. Some pray for miracles. Grace prayed for mercy, his, not hers. That night, the sky broke open. Rain fell like it had been waiting years to pour. Grace had just finished cleaning when she heard him shouting from upstairs. She ran up, barefoot, heart pounding. In his room, Ethan lay on the floor, pale, sweating, gasping for air. For the first time, the man who commanded everyone couldn't lift his own hand. Grace didn't think twice. She grabbed her phone, called for help, and stayed right there, holding his hand while rain thundered outside. She whispered, "You're going to be okay, sir. You're going to be okay." Funny how life humbles us. In that moment, he didn't see a maid. He saw the only person who stayed when he couldn't stand. If you believe kindness still exists in a world that forgets it too easily, pause for a second and show your heart by subscribing. Because here, on KindSoul Corner, we tell stories that remind us why humanity still matters. And while the rain kept falling, she held his hand tighter. When Ethan opened his eyes, the storm was gone. But the silence in the room felt louder than thunder. He looked to his right and saw Grace. Asleep in the chair beside his bed, still in her maid uniform, hands clasped like she'd been praying all night. For years, he looked down on her. This morning, he looked at her, and saw a heart stronger than his fortune. He tried to speak her name. His voice cracked. And for the first time in years, Ethan Cole whispered, "Thank you. If this moment touched your heart, take a breath. And remember, kindness doesn't make us small, it makes us human." Subscribe to KindSoul Corner, and keep kindness alive. Later that afternoon, the doctor told him he'd had a mild heart attack. Ethan nodded slowly, but his eyes never left the woman standing by the window. He cleared his throat, his voice weak. "Grace, I never treated you right." His words stumbled like a man learning to speak a guy, and Grace didn't say much. She just smiled gently and said, "That's all right, sir. You're awake, that's what matters. Some people will forget your title, but they'll remember how you made them feel. If you believe that too, show your heart. Subscribe to KindSoul Corner, where stories remind us what truly matters." And for the first time in years, Ethan didn't feel rich. He just felt grateful. Gratitude costs nothing, but it changes everything. Weeks passed. Ethan recovered, but something in him never went back to the way it was. He still had his money, his mansion, and his suits. But now, he also had something money couldn't buy: gratitude. Every morning he made sure to say it. Two simple words he'd once thought were too small for a man like him. Thank you. Grace never asked for anything in return. She just kept doing her job, the same quiet way she always had. But now, her prayers had finally been answered. In the end, kindness doesn't need witnesses. It changes people quietly, like sunlight melting frost. If this story touched your heart, take a moment. Subscribe to KindSoul Corner, where stories remind us that even the smallest acts can heal a world that's forgotten how to feel. Because sometimes, the kindest hearts work in silence, but their light is what saves us all. Kindness is silent, but its echo can last a lifetime.